Hi, my name is Zack Abusharif, and I'm a real estate agent located in the Chicagoland area. Anyways, I wanted to talk about what exactly is an agent. And an agent is someone who is the middle ground between a buyer and a seller. And the agent essentially takes care of everything in between. So if you're a seller, essentially, when you give the agent a responsibility to sell your home, you don't really have to do anything. And at the same time, as a buyer, when you give that agent the responsibility, you don't really have to do much except decide if this is the right property for you. And now, why use an agent? First of all, people are confused and think that you have to pay agents. You don't pay agents. Only the seller pays an agent if the home sells. So if you're a buyer, you don't pay an agent. If you're a tenant, you don't pay an agent. If you're a seller, you don't pay an agent out of pocket. You only pay an agent if they sell the property. A percentage, usually 2 to 3% of the sales price, goes to the agent. So some people say, well, I want to save that 2 to 3% that goes to an agent. Well, that would be called a for sale by owner. And the reality is, statistically, for sale by owners only get the price they want 8% of the time. Very often for sale by owners, they just stay on the market. It just countless studies again and again show that using an agent will get you the price they want, regardless if they are going to take a percentage of it. Because let's say if you're trying to sell it on your house is really worth 200,000, but you only sell it for 170 because you're doing it for sale by owner. You just lost 30K. But now what we could say is, okay, well, I'll sell the house for you. It's really worth 200. I'll sell it for 210,000. Okay, and then 5,000 let's say will go to me. So the reality is you're still walking away with more money by using an agent. Now, why do you get more money when using an agent? Essentially, what an agent has is an agent has access to a search engine that finds homes, and that is called MLS. So if you've heard of Trulia, Redfin, all of those things, those are all based on MLS. So MLS the only people who have access to MLS are agents, licensed agents. So agents have access. If I want to sell your house, for example, I post it. It's kind of like the social media of homes. I post it on this MLS, and it gets viewed by millions of people throughout the United States. Okay? You can't compete with that if you're on your own trying to market your property and sell it. Now, as a buyer, if you're looking for a home, why go through an agent? Is because, yeah, you can go on Trulia and all these Zillow and all these websites, but they are here, and MLS is here. Zillow actually gets all its information from MLS. So, it is smarter to use an agent. Now, what else do they help you with? They're essentially the middleman between the buyer and the seller. So they help you with the contracting. They help you with the searching. They help you with scheduling the home showings. They help you in contact with the other agent who, in the seller, they help negotiate for you. They basically hold your hand throughout the process. Okay, as long as one of my clients say, I like this house, or as long as one of my clients says, I want to sell this house, from there they can sit on their butt doing nothing, and I do all the work, and they have nothing to lose. Because if I do a crap job and I don't sell the house, well, guess what? They don't lose any money. To the buyer, when I get them a new house, they don't even pay me. So I think people get really confused with that. I think people also don't realize that there's a lot of processes in a home buying, situation. And, you have to submit a contract. And this has to be legally a legal contract that is approved by a lawyer. You have to set up a home inspection. You have to set up showings. Part of myself as an agent is I negotiate with the seller to say, okay, listen, this buyer will buy this property, but only if you fix XYZ. So in a normal, let's talk about an average person. An average person maybe will buy 2 homes in their life. An average agent, if they're subpar, will at least do 3, 4, 5 deals a year. Okay, so if an agent has 1, 2, 3, years under the belt, they've probably already been through 20 transactions. So they know every little thing. They can see, oh, I could sell, that's flooding. Oh, we could definitely get the seller to fix this. Oh, I know buyers because I worked with a previous agent. I worked with a previous client who was an investor. He'd be interested in this property. So agents, just from being in the business, you can't do everything. I like to look at agents as saying, well, you go to a barber to cut your hair. You go to the doctor when you're sick. When you want to buy a home, you go to an agent. You let the professionals do what they do, and they do it best. I've tried to give myself haircuts. I know with quarantine, a lot of people try to give themselves haircuts, and, it's just not worth it. So my key, what I want you to understand is that, number one, you don't pay an agent. Number two, you have nothing to lose if you're a buyer or a seller, because the seller only pays an agent a commission of the sales price. Okay. Number three, agents have seen it all. If you think, oh, I could take this on my own hands, that's a lot of ego talking, because the reality is any agent will at least have 10 deals under their belt. They've been in the industry and they're pretty good. So that's my whole video. Thank you.